What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Forgo, and the update has arrived with Hotaru, which is pretty damn amazing. Everybody's going to be able to get this character through the login event, which is spectacular. Now, we have the Hotaru Lucky Mission, guys, which is pretty cool. We're going to be able to do all these things. I don't see any Dream Match in here, which is actually pretty damn cool. Everybody's going to be able to do everything in here, which is very, very nice. And if my math is correct, we should be able to get about 15,400 of these tokens. Now that's going to be important here in a little bit as we'll talk about, but let's move on to the Hitakatsu Lucky Mission, which we're going to be able to get these gold tokens. Now these gold tokens we're actually going to be able to acquire, if my math is correct, 17,400. So 15,400 of the green ones, 17,400 of the gold ones. Now as far as the green are concerned, you're going to be able to it takes 2,500 tokens to get one of these, okay? 2,500 of these babies to get one of these guaranteed. And for every 3 of these that you get, you're going to be able to get a memory for Hotaru. Now, if you had the worst luck possible, guys, considering that you're going to get 15,400 of those tokens, then you're going to get 6 of these green tokens if you have the most abysmal luck in the game. And what that's going to do is it's going to allow you to at least take your character to A2. You'll at least be able to take her to A2, which is actually pretty fantastic for a free character if you're free to play. That's actually really, really nice. And then when you go into the gold event here, guys, this resource here is actually going to allow you to get your cards and your set cards, which we're going to talk about here in a little bit. And you're going to be able to acquire, again, if my math is correct, 17,400 of these gold tokens. And what that means is you're going to be able to get a minimum. Again, if you had the most abysmal luck, 6 of these, okay? Now, really more likely you're probably going to get 7 in all reality, but you're really going to want 8, as we'll talk about. And I'm pretty sure almost everybody's going to get 8. I mean, your luck would have to be horrific not to get 8 of these, and 8 is the minimum that you're going to want. And the reason you want that many is because in the exchange shop, if you take a look at Hotaru here, you can see, guys, that 3 of these tokens will give you a memory. And again, I told you guys that you're going to be able to get 6 of these if you have the worst luck. So you're going to get 2 memories, and you got it from the login. So you're going to be able to A2 the character guaranteed. Now here's where 3 PGs are at, right? You're going to need 2 of these. Now her 5 PG will work on her, but you're really going to want her 3 PG because of the added effect that this thing has. This is really, really nice, guys. Increase attack of all teammates, including self, by 50% and decrease the enemy's defense by 50% for 10 seconds after using this skill. This is really, really OP. My advice to you guys is either go for attack. I would personally go for attack, guys. That's really the best, most well-rounded way to go. I mean, active skill damage is nice, or critical damage is nice for CP, but so is attack. And active skill damage is also really good. It's really up to you as far as which one you want to go with. Personally, I would go for attack. It's going to take 2 of those tokens to do this. Now you have the set cards in here, right? And in order to get all 3 of these set cards, you're going to need 6 of these tokens. That's why I said you're going to need 8 of these gold tokens. And again, if your luck is the most abysmal in the world, you're going to get 6 of these minimum. So you can get this set card no matter what. You should be able to get these set cards no matter what, and maybe you won't get the 3 PG, but the way the math works out, guys, it's like 6.96 of these, right? So you're pretty much going to get 7 of these almost guaranteed. You're only going to need 1 more. I mean, again, your luck would just have to be horrific not to get 8 of these. I believe that most players, pretty much almost all players, should be able to get 8 of these, and they should be able to get these set cards, and they should be able to get 1 3 PG for Hotaru. This set card is pretty damn wild. So as far as this is only at level 1, guys, it's actually going to go up, but she gets a critical rate buff, which is going to be really insane for CP. This is only good for Hotaru. And then her second card decreases the base cooldown of both moves by Hotaru by 2.5 seconds. That's pretty nice. And then the third one gives the 3% chance to increase the power by 5 when Hotaru lands an active skill, which is going to be good for doing her 3 PG immediately, which you're going to want to do because it's going to add some major buffs for your team. But the set is pretty wild because it increases the attack of all female teammates, including self, by 20%. So you get a 20% buff having the set card on Hotaru, and it's just going to buff up all your other female characters, right? And guess what? We just got a bunch of females in Soul Calibur for 10 seconds when using an awakened skill. So you're going to have to use the awakened skill to get this buff, and then increases critical damage of the tagged in extreme fighter by 10%. And 10%, guys, is a lot. It really does add a lot of damage, especially whenever you start looking at the rest of Hotaru's kit. It becomes pretty damn OP. So this event is actually really awesome because, again, every player should be able to get all three of these cards. Every player should be able to get A2 Hotaru for free. And I would think that you're at least going to get 3 PG. I mean, again, your luck would have to be abysmal not to get it. So let's talk about Hotaru, all right? Hotaru. So let's go into the Codex and take a look at her kit, all right? No, we want to go to All-Star. I'm so used to clicking on Soul Calibur. So get a load of this girl's leadership. This is pretty wild. Increase extreme fighter attack by 35% and increase female fighter attack by 35%. These are going to stack on top of each other. It's 70% increase to a female fighter that is EX. Soul Calibur, guys. Like, we just got free Ivy, and this girl's going to buff the living hell out of her, man, with that 3 PG and with her leadership. But it gets better, my friends. So she's got 30% PG rate, the critical rate increase, the critical damage increased by 30%, which means she's going to hit pretty damn hard. And then she has increased the critical damage of the tagged in extreme fighter by 15%. Again, guys, another buff for your teammates, right? If you have that set card, that's an extra 10% critical damage. And then you're going to offer another 15% critical damage to a tagged in extreme fire, which means 25% increase to critical damage. That is a huge buff along with the leadership, along with the 3 PG. And increase all enemies damage received by 50%. Again, another buff, guys. It's really, really sweet because you're going to be able to tag around and you're going to get these buffs automatically to your other fighters. That's really cool. And then upon landing an ultimate move on a shocked enemy, so there tells you she's got dot, decrease the target's defenses by 20% for 15 seconds and adds 5.5 times the shock damage remaining on target, then removes the shock vector. It's pretty damn cool. She's immune to chill and shock, reflects freeze. Cast a shield that absorbs damage for 7 seconds when HP is 80% or less. So it's nice. She's got a shield, but that's survivability. And then shields removed when attacked 30 times. She also has a PvP exclusive, which reflects 10% of damage taken for 5 seconds when attacked, which is pretty nice for PvP. Now, when you look at her EX cores, you have Thrill. Thrill is pretty much crap, guys. The reason I say this is crap is because it resets the tag cooldowns and okay, reset tech cooldown sucks. It means you can only use it every other rotation whenever you're doing a team composition in your runs. You won't be able to use it every single time. It's a good buff, but because you can only use it every other time, the damage over time isn't as good as what you're going to get, say, with Weaken. And her Weaken is pretty spectacular. Now, the problem with this is she's going to need to be A5, and all you free-to-play players, you're just not going to be able to do it. You're not going to be able to take this girl to A5. It's just not going to happen, right? But you're still getting an amazing free-to-play character that's going to add a lot of buffs for your female characters especially, which is pretty damn cool. But if you are willing to go the distance, right, there are some packs in the shop, you can take her to A5 and increase all enemies damage received by 35% for 15 seconds upon use, right? And the fact that she's got shock really would make her a good leadership for your female fighters and really good for geese. That's actually pretty damn cool. That's a nice little buff that she has. And then her first skill, check this out, guys, right? This is pretty cool. So she also, has an interrupt skill. She has a 25% chance to reset the cooldown when using a skill, but applies a harmony effect to all female teammates, including self, for 12 seconds upon use. Increase attack by 50% and decrease damage received by 70%. So she's got like a double whammo where she increases the female's attack by 50%, but she also decreases their damage received by 70%, making them even tankier. That is really, really nice. And remember, guys, she's giving those critical damage buffs from her core. If you have that set card, it's going to add more critical damage. You'll have her leadership. You got the increased damage from the 3 PG. I mean, think about it, guys. 50% attack to the 3 PG and the 50% decrease of all defenses from the 3 PG. And then you get a 50% more attack here. It's 100% more attack. And that's just from Hotaru. That's not counting the set cards. Right? On top of the extra critical damage, she's actually an insane support, especially for female characters. Wow. And then decrease all enemies' defense by 30% for 10 seconds upon use, drops lightning on all targets upon use, and increase active skill cooldown by 3 seconds. This is one of the most annoying effects, guys. Whenever she drops lightning on you, your cooldowns are going to go insane in PvP. It's really one of the most annoying things that people deal with in PvP. All you PvP players, I sympathize with you. It really sucks, but it's awesome for her. It's pretty damn sweet. And then her third skill gives her hyper armor for 4 seconds and applies Discord, that's pretty funny, Discord, on the target for 12 seconds. And upon the skill. Decrease attack by 40%, increase the damage received by 20%. So another buff that she will be applying. That's actually pretty cool. And then her default gives increased target damage received by 10% for 10 seconds when landing a skill, which is nice. We've already seen the animations. I'm not going to go into all that, guys, but she does have a nice little striker bonus that applies dazed all enemies for 3 seconds. Decreased damage received by 70% is freaking amazing for survivability. That is really, really good. That's nice, guys. Especially if you're using a character that is a heal, that's pretty cool. And defense by 80%. So Hotaru is looking quite awesome, especially for a free-to-play player or free-to-play character. That I mean, even though if you're only going to have her at A2, guys, and you just have her 3PG, right? She is going to be such a good support for your team, and it's absolutely amazing that Neymar was giving this girl for free, which is actually pretty cool. Now, I haven't went in here. This is my first time actually looking at these packs because we just got the update. But they got some packs in here, guys. I mean, I might make a future video about this, right? I mean, this is, you get 150 of these. That's kind of crappy there. I mean, I well know it's about 100, right? So you'll get 1,500 of them, right? We'll have to wait and see how much it would actually cost for those players that are willing to spend the moolah to take her to A5, because really having that increase all damage received by 35% would be nice. I am happy to see that they got a lot of rubies in here. That's actually really nice. But you guys can decide whether or not, you think any of these deals are, worth it. I can't tell you whether or not I'm actually going to do it. I'm probably just going to test her at A1 just to see what she can do. Also, I made a little mistake earlier when I talked about how many of these tokens you actually need in the exchange shop, because you guys are going to want to get these imprint stones here, and you're going to need these gold tokens for that as well. So I said earlier that you're going to need 8 of these because you're going to want to get the set cards, and honestly, I would go for these set cards before I would go for any of these stones. This is just my humble opinion. If you're going to try to make Hotaru as strong as possible, then you want to go for the stones, but I think you're really going to want to use her as a support character more than anything. So I would just go for the set cards instead. But I mean, if you're going to get the 3PG, the set cards, and, the 2 stones that you need, you're going to literally need, 8, 9, 10, 12 of these things? 12 of these, and you might possibly get them, right? So there is that. More than likely, there will be players that won't be able to get, all the imprint stones. Personally, guys, again, I'm just going to focus on the set cards and the 3PG. These are going to be my first priorities because they're going to buff up all of your other teammates. It's just going to be a lot better for you. You're going to have a longer lasting effect as far as how relevant Hotaru can actually be for you. Even at A1, A2, guys, you're really better off to go with these instead of trying to go for those imprint stones. But if you end up getting more gold tokens, then start going for the circle stone, then start going for these other stones if you choose to do so. And then we have these boxes here also they can use these green tokens for, and you have the EX Fighter Summon Tickets, Volume 8 by 10. Unfortunately, we can't click on here and we can't look to see who's coming, which is kind of a bummer. But, it's up to you guys whether or not you really want to do that. When it comes to Hotaru, guys, all you're probably going to need is to have her at level 90. What I would suggest all of you do is just wait for me or maybe other YouTubers that have her at level 90. Go ahead and do some gameplay with her and see how relevant she can be just at level 90. And if you want to skip, leveling her up, and then go for these instead to have a chance of getting, some tickets, right? I mean, it's really up to you whether or not you want to do that, guys, because honestly, whether she would be at level 90 or A2, it's not really going to make much of a difference as far as damage, because you're more than likely you're not going to be using her as the main damage dealer. That is something you should always keep in mind. I mean, Kusanagi, guys, at level 90 was an insane support, and I think it's going to be the same thing with Hotaru, but I really would go for those set cards first. Go for her 3PG before I would do anything, and save your green tokens and let me play with her a little bit at level 90 to show you what she can do and answer the question as to whether or not should you level up further or should you really just go for these instead. So guys, let me know what you think about Hotaru. I think this is an awesome event. It's always good when we get free things, and I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody. Take care.